part of the ecosystem.
Rebecca's 2-minute turn is a lot less organised, and she uses a lot of repetition. Guard against repeating how important the question is and reiterating how people need to be educated about how important the question is.
It's a tricky question because I think, to protect our children question, I don't know how much we can do about protecting our children, because obviously there are a lot of external influences too. I mean, sometimes you do your best but what is protecting the future? It's a sort of open question.
Yes, it is a complex problem.
Complex.
Use examples either from your own experience or from your knowledge of the world, and this will enable you to structure your talk better. When Inga answers the technology question, she talks about examples which are familiar to her, and this gives her a lot more to say.
What impact has technology had on your culture?
Oh, well, I think in Russia, technology has an enormous impact on culture, especially if we go back to the period of Soviet Union, where there was an incredible development of technology in the country. There was, I think it has not only the impact on the culture, but on the society as well. And, for instance, we could see some styles in architecture which reflect this development in culture, and we could see some literature which was developed under the impression of that technology boom. So I think those things are very interconnected.
In the final part, Inga acknowledges that the question is not quite clear to her, but she interprets it in her own way and is able to make a very fluent contribution.
I don't really exactly understand what was meant by the technology and protection, but I guess if we are talking about the military aspect of this problem, of course, the higher the technology, the better protection we get. But at the same time, it might cause a negative side of the whole problem. So if one country has an exceptionally developed technology, especially military technology, it might have certain economical influences over the other countries, which has been done in the past time, and history has already seen these examples, I guess.
On the subject of the internet, Rebecca is able to express the importance of the issue, but it is Inga who really drives the conversation by thinking of an extra example, and she does it in a way that also supports her partner.
With the growth of the internet, how important is it to protect our privacy and personal data?
It's very important, actually. I think it's getting more and more important. It's a real issue because it can be really dangerous if everybody can access to your data, and
yes, I think in the era of internet, there's sort of a reassessment of what the private life is and what's our individual aspects of life are. So, of course, there should be some new laws developed by the government and perhaps new policies to control, to protect not only our privacy, but also our bank cards, and et cetera, et cetera.
At proficiency level, candidates are expected to be able to talk about really quite complex ideas and concepts, and Inga was noticeably stronger in this respect, being able to use not only appropriate language, but also using illustrative examples. With regard to grammar, Inga had very good control of both basic grammar and more complex structures, whereas Rebecca did make some errors with both prepositions and tense. In terms of pronunciation, good candidates, as well as being intelligible, are able to use stress and intonation to convey meaning, and Inga was able to do this in various parts of the test. Rebecca, however, would have benefited from some extra intensive practice in this regard. Even at this level, candidates' pronunciation can be improved. With regard to interactive communication, both candidates supported each other and neither one dominated the other. They both listened actively and responded to the instructions they were given whilst supporting each other, and this was a very strong element of their performance.